Hello, and welcome to Working with What You Got. I'm your host, Renee Joshua Porter, and I am so glad that you decided to join us today. Remember, our show is all about you realizing that you have more than you think you have. You have more time, you have more talent, you have more resources, you have more people on your side, you have more food, you have more faith, and it is time for you to unknot your mind. Well, we're going to start like we do all the time, and we're going to cook. So you say, what are we going to make today? Well, I started thinking about my mother. My mother loves to throw together what she calls her version of shepherd pie. And usually there's some type of mystery meat in the shepherd's pie. So this is dedicated to my mom, but there's no mystery meat. So I'm going to make two different versions. I'm going to make one that's more savory, and I'm going to make one that's sweet. Now remember, we want to work with what we have. We want to take what's already in our house and make it into something delicious and healthy. So the first one we're going to make, the first shepherd pie we're going to make, we're going to use instant mashed potatoes. And I already did it. Instant mashed potatoes. I don't know if we could see it over here. Took about a minute. And what we just did, we boiled our water, put in our flakes, mashed it up, instant mashed potatoes. So now I started to think, what could we put in for those of us that may be staying away from eating too much meat? We want to try to do maybe a vegan, vegetarian diet 2 or 3 times a week, keep that heart nice and healthy. How about some good old-fashioned mushrooms? Okay, so we're going to start off. Put some olive oil in our pan. Our pan is already hot. Well, it was hot. Yes, it is hot. Turn it back on. A little bit of olive oil. Put it in our pan. And then we're going to put in half a cup of mushrooms. All right. So we have our mushrooms. Turn it up a little bit. I need to hear it sizzle. Oh, remember, our lines stay open the whole time. So you just call 631-669-7999 if you have any questions for us. So, okay, I have my half a cup of mushrooms. And then I'm going to put in really just a little bit, a 1/4 cup of onions with it. So I'm going to saute my mushrooms with my onions. Now, what's my issue? When I was making this, I started thinking about something. What color are my mashed potatoes? Beige. My mushrooms, my onions, beige, white. Once the onions are fried up, they get clear. What's the problem? What do I keep telling you? You have to eat the rainbow. We need colors in there. We need colors. So what did I have? I had a package of frozen mixed vegetables. So I have my onions. My pan keeps going out. Okay, I have my onions, I have my mushrooms, and I'm going to take my mixed vegetables that are already cooked, and I'm going to saute them up in my pan. That's going to provide our filling for our shepherd's pie. So I want to show you what it'll look like right here. We sauteed our mushrooms, our onions, and our mixed vegetables. So what I did was I got a silicone cupcake holder. Why silicone? I think I've told you a couple shows back. I love these silicone cups. Nothing burns on this. Nothing burns. So what I'll do is I'm going to take my base cheese. Put some cheese at the bottom. It's sizzling now. I hear it. You can't hear it, but I hear it. Then I'm going to get a little spoon. And I'm going to put in some of my filling, which was the mushrooms, the onions, and the mixed vegetables. And then I'm going to take a spoonful of the mashed potatoes and put it on there. Mash it down. Can you see? Flatten it. And then we're going to top it again with a little bit of the cheese. So we used cheese, we had our filling, our mashed potato, and topped it with another layer of that cheese. You're going to bake it. I put it in a toaster oven on 375 for 10 minutes. And I'm going to show you how it came out. Look at that. Look at that. Come on. What? Look. Look at that. Now, if I was making it for myself, I would throw jalapenos in there because I like things a little spicy. But for the average Joe, they don't like too much spice. So I need a tester. Do I have a tester taster in the audience? Jerry, you going to taste for me? Sure. All right, I have a new cameraman today that is helping me out. And he is willing. He was giving me all these wonderful compliments before we started because he wanted to be the taster. All right. It should be hot. I wish it was hot. That's what I wanted to say. It's gotten a little cold.
It's hot enough. I can feel it.
You can feel it? Okay. What do you think?
Hold on, I'm still eating it.
You like it?
I'm thinking I want another one.
You do? I can make you another one. You did? You liked it? You
Very
dropped your fork? You did? Well, he ate all of it, so he must have liked it. Now, anything that you would have changed, or do you like things spicier, more salt, more pepper? Because I did put, I didn't put my little seasonings in. You good?
Perfect. It was
Yeah?
delicious.
You liked it?
Absolutely did.
Mm-hmm. So it's something that you would, you could see yourself making because it's simple enough, right?
I think I can make that.
Yeah, you could. Now, what else would you do as a variation in there? Would you throw maybe some ground
Tabasco sauce.
Tabasco.
Yeah, I like spicy.
Oh, see, next time I know you're here, Jerry, I'll bring my cayenne. All right. Okay.
Great.
All right. Thank you. Now, you have a show, too, on Madhouse, right?
That's right.
Tell us about your show.
Well, it's called The Long Island Filmmakers, hosted by Jerry Parisi. That would be me.
Okay.
And, of course, on my show, I happen to put a lot of different people from a lot of different walks of life that either interact with the movie, advertising, or music business. And what happens is, on our show, we also complement the other shows because they themselves are filmmakers as well. So on my show, you'll be seeing this host, Renee, as well as some of the other people on the show from other shows here. I'm looking forward to seeing the Shake It Up girls as well. That's going to be on the 10th of the month.
All right. Thank you. That was a great plug, Jerry. Thank you.
So much. That was a good piece of food.
All right. All right. So Jerry /host /tester taster. Cute and wonderful. So that was easy, right? Wasn't that easy? Okay. So while that's sauteing, I'm going to put that over to the side because we're going to make something else. I'm going to show you how you can do a savory version of it. So what we did was I get another one of my silicone cups. And this time I'm going to use sweet potatoes. Now, I happen to love sweet potatoes, and the more you tune in, the more you're going to see how much I love sweet potatoes. I personally don't eat a lot of white potatoes. I really don't eat white potatoes at all. But sweet potatoes are full of vitamins, A, D, all kinds of good stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a sweet one. Now, we made a savory. Now we're going to do sweet. So what we're going to do is we're going to pack in our silicone cup, and I made it already. I took almonds, brown sugar, and cinnamon. So we had our sliced almonds, we have our brown sugar, and we have our cinnamon. And we made a crumble out of it. That's going to be the base for your shepherd's pie. Take a spoonful, put it down here, pack it in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our sweet potato, and we're going to mash it down. I think I need something a little heavier. We're going to mash it down in here. Then what we decided to do is make a really nice topping. We took our apples and our raisins and used it as a topping. Do you see how many nutrients are in here? Do you see what we're working with? We had almonds, we have raisins, we have apples, we have sweet potatoes. This would make a wonderful dessert or a little appetizer that you could create for Thanksgiving that is coming up. And we're going to do the same thing that we did with the savory one. We're going to put it in our oven and we're going to bake it on 375 for just about 10 minutes. You got me? Simple, right? Was that easy or what? Okay. Now, I need another taster. Jerry, are you going to taste again? You might as well. 2 for 2? 2 for 2?
I'm back.
You're back, Jerry. You're back. You're back. You're back.
Well, let me try this now. Oh, this one's good.
You like that?
Mm-hmm.
You have a sweet tooth, Jerry?
I have 3 of them.
You like that?
Mm-hmm.
It's punchy, right? You got a lot in there. What kind of flavors kick out in it for you?
The sweetness.
The sweetness? Is it too sweet? No?
It's delicious.
Yeah? Now, you see that as an appetizer? You see it like you'd want a full plate of it? What are you thinking? Or that size is perfect
I'm thinking like even a dessert.
as a dessert.
It would work both ways.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You liked it, huh?
I did. I enjoyed that.
Okay. If you didn't like it, would you say?
If I didn't like it, it wouldn't be gone.
Okay. All right. So you liked it. Okay, good. Right. That was simple. Look at that. We took apples. We took almonds. We took sweet potatoes. We took a little cinnamon, a little raisin. And look how we made a sweet and a savory shepherd's pie. Right? 2 for 2. High five. High five. And we'll be right back after this. We're still going to be cooking. Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have 2 practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our 2 offices. Thank you.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this. You'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
Hello. We're back. I'm your host, Renee Joshua Porter, and you have tuned in to Working with What You Got. Now, before we went to break, we made two different versions of a shepherd's pie. The first one we did was savory. We used instant mashed potatoes, mushrooms, onions, and cheddar cheese. Very simple. Jerry gave it the thumbs up. And then after that, we did a sweet shepherd's pie. We used sweet potatoes, almonds, raisins, brown sugar, and a little bit of apples. He said not only is it a good appetizer, it would make a very good dessert. So 2 for 2. So now when we come back, I wanted to show you something, how you can take some of those same ingredients. Remember, you have more than you think you have. Sometimes we look at what's in our pantry and we only see it one-dimensional. I'm going to show you how to take the same ingredients and now turn it into a breakfast. We're going to take our raisins. We're going to take some apples. Right? In the morning, you need something power-packed. Ixnay on the donuts, ixnay on the muffins, ixnay on the coffee. What are you doing? You're just shooting yourself up with drugs, and then around 11 o'clock, you're yawning, you're scratching, you can't focus, you're not returning phone calls. Why? Because you don't have the right fuel. So you need life. You need food that's going to fuel your body, right? You don't put sugar in your gas tank, so why you keep putting it in your body? Aren't you more valuable than that automobile? All right. So now what we did was we took the apples, we took raisins, and I actually put a little bit of oats in here. Quick cut oats. Quick cooking oats. It's like a tongue twister. I'm getting all fumbled. Quick cooking oats. And normally I would put some agave, or maybe I would put raw honey. I didn't have it. Remember, the show is Working What You Got. What did I have? Brown sugar, the same brown sugar that we used for our sweet shepherd's pie. I'm just going to put a pinch, not too much, in there, a little bit of brown sugar. It would be better if you had your raw honey or your agave. Now, a lot of times when we have those morning cereals, we love to put a bunch of milk and butter and all that cholesterol-laden ingredients. No. Why not put a little bit of your olive oil? Huh? Why not? Why not put a little bit of your olive oil? Put a little bit of cinnamon. Look at this. We have a wonderful, heart-healthy breakfast gruel. Can you see it? Ah, look at that. Look at that. Delicious. Let me see. I'm going to call Jerry or even maybe his wife, Michelle. Michelle, are you going to come taste? Is she chickening out? Did I put you on the spot? Come on, Michelle, come on with your beautiful self in that beautiful red blouse. Are you a coffee addict?
No.
You're not?
Decaf.
Decaf. Good
Yeah.
for you. Good
Yeah.
for you. Michelle's a teacher, so she has to stay alert, right? She needs a lot of fuel.
That's true.
What are
Yes.
the age of the students that you deal with?
Preschool on up through high school.
Oh, that's
a little
energy.
mixture of everybody.
Oh, you need energy. You
Yes,
need
I do.
a lot of energy. Okay, so did you see what we had in here?
Yeah, there were no nuts, right?
Oh, yeah, I think there are almonds in here. You can't
Oh,
have.
I can't eat
You can't.
almonds.
Oh, no,
So we're
please.
going to have Jerry.
Yeah, I don't want you to blow up on the set,
No.
please. That would not be a good look. That would not be a good look.
on down,
Come on, Jerry.
Jerry.
Yeah. Thank you for telling me. I wouldn't know how to explain that to the audience, why Michelle blew up on the set.
The funny thing is, Michelle always tends to call me a nut.
Okay, so you need a spoon or a fork over there. Which one?
I'm going to go with the spoon.
Okay, it's hot.
Very hot.
It's hot.
Do I want anything for going with the right spoon?
All right. Are you digging it? Yeah? Would you have that over that big fat blueberry muffin?
I never eat a big fat blueberry muffin, especially on camera here. I would not eat a blueberry muffin. But I'll tell you what I would have this over, the Raisin Bran or perhaps the almond milk and Raisin Bran.
Okay. But that's good, right? Simple. We took quick cut oats. We took apples. We took almonds. We took raisins, a pinch of sugar. You don't even really need the sugar because the raisins are sweet and the apples are sweet. I put a little sea salt and a little bit of olive oil. Come on, you feel your heart pumping, right?
Not only that, I feel my heart pumping.
You can handle traffic after this. You can handle irate customers after this, right? Come on, you can handle when you can't find your keys, like me, and your glasses and your cell phone after this. You need fuel. Remember, you have more than you think you have. You have more ingredients. You have more resources. It's time for us to look at things from a whole different angle.
Seconds.
Yes, yes. Anything for the cameraman. The cameraman went, oh, it smells so good. Doesn't it smell good? See, quick breakfast. How long did that take? 3 minutes? Bop, 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 bop. Boom, you're good to go. Yeah? Thank you so much, Jerry. Now,
you.
we'll be right back after this, and we have a fantastic guest. The doctor is in the house, Dr. Linda Michelle Barron, educator, poet, author, just queen extraordinaire, and I'm so excited. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our 2 offices. Thank you.
I'm Tommy Marr. I'm down in St. Bart's having a good time. A lot of people at this time, they like to go have a little cocktail. But you know what I do? I'm going to watch MadhouseTV.com. You got that right.
Old Spice body spray will make you feel so powerful to blow your mind right in front of your face. Goodbye. Oh no! It's like I don't. Power!
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
Try this routine to feel fresh and clean. Pair Charmin Fresh Mates with your Charmin.
Oh, Old Spice body spray is too powerful to stay in its own commercial. That's right. Power!
Hello, and we are back. I'm your host, Renee Joshua Porter, and you have tuned in to Working with What You Got. Well, you thought we were cooking earlier. We're about to really fry it up right about now, because we have the doctor in the house, Dr. Linda Michelle Barron, educator, poet, motivational speaker. She's just a dynamic woman. I actually saw her perform years and years ago. Probably close to 20 years ago. And I said, man, I want to be like her when I grow up. She got it going on. I even tried to act like I had dimples like she did. Because she's not only she cute and she's just fly and bright and bubbly, but she's talented. I said, I want some of that. You know how you meet people, you say, I want some of that. And so I'm so glad that we have a mutual friend. I want to thank our mutual friend, David Peters. Two thumbs up to David Peters. And we were talking, I was telling him about this show, and I mentioned her, or he mentioned her. Somehow, I think he did. And he said, you need to hook up with Linda Michelle Barron. I was like, yes. And she is here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Barron.
Ooh, I feel so special.
You are special.
Do you think special?
Thank you for coming.
It is my joy. I love the name, Working with What You Got. I just love it.
Thank you.
I just love it.
Thank you.
I love it.
You know, the way I see it is, I see it as a movement.
It is.
It's a movement. It's a way of thinking. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, one of the things my whole life has been making a way out of no way. Right. Working with What You Got is absolutely aligned with making a way out of no way.
Right. And it's a mindset.
It is.
And I know firsthand that a lot of your literature, it's all about thinking.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit. Tell us how you would define yourself. If someone said to you,
oh, Jesus.
At this point in your life, who are you?
I am a free, wonderful, gift from God. God has given me a sense of life and love and no constraints. No constraints.
No constraint.
I think because I have such a faith in the universe being consistent with helping you be the best of who you are, I believe in that. And everything I do in my life has been consistent with that belief.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Along the way, because you've been on this journey a minute.
A long time.
You've been on this journey a minute. Along the way, what are some of the obstacles? What are some of the knots? Because our show is all about unknotting. N-O-T.
I love that.
You know, unknot. Get the knots out. So what are some
K-N-O-T, N-O-T. I got it.
right.
I love
so
it.
what are some of the knots that you had to take out of the doctor?
I think the knot, let me see. I remember in the 1970s, and I don't want anyone to know that I was alive and teaching in the 1970s, because I want to be young and wonderful. But in the 1970s, I was being laid off. I hate to get you, but I was going to be laid off, and one of my assistant principals, Alice Uzaga, came to me and said, "You need to be doing this. You need to be a consultant for a publishing company." And she showed me a page with all these consultants. And I said, "Oh, okay." And when she left, I said, "She must be crazy." There was not one person darker. There was no person my complexion
Right.
or darker in that page. And so I kind of placed myself in a glass ceiling. And it was later in life that I realized you can go beyond whatever your own sense of who you are is. Sometimes it's
Wait,
not
stop,
what.
stop.
Go
You got to
ahead.
take a pause right in there.
Okay.
You can go beyond. Say that again. I need to digest
What
that.
your own sense of where you can go is or who you are is.
So you mean even the breaks that you have, the limitations that you think, like for instance, I don't mean to cut you because I want
No,
to
I'm
complete
with
that
you.
thought.
I love it.
Yes, so for instance, in my mind, I struggle with choreography,
Okay.
right? You try to teach me a step or a dance,
Yeah, right.
it just doesn't. So I shy away from it. I could do a two-step, you know.
Right,
I'm
right.
good with the electric
Right.
slide, but you know, if there's a show or something where I have to really do movement, there's something that rises up in me. I don't do that. But what you're saying is, even within that, I could still.
You can do your two-step, so it's so bad that you're the baddest two-step. That's what I'm saying. I can't sing. Let me just tell you, I can't sing. I can't carry one note. But one of my close friends is Alice can't think of it, Allison, and she's saying she's a famous singer,
Yes.
and she stayed with me for a couple minutes because of some issues. And when she was there, I can't sing a note. But every day I woke up singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. I don't care. Whatever the heck I feel, I can't carry one note. My friends won't even tell me when it's their birthday because they're afraid I'll sing happy birthday. No. But you know what? This famous, fabulous singer said she would wake up hearing me sing. If it was Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, she'd be singing it all day.
Wow.
What power is that? Here's a famous singer embracing my no voice because that's how I wake up, that's how I live, that's who I am. I said, shoot, that is a gift. God gives us gifts. You don't have to be on tune to make a difference.
Come on now.
I love that.
I'm going to tweet that. You don't have to be
I
on tune to make a difference.
Isn't that, you don't
That's
have to be
good.
on tune
That's a nugget.
to make the music ring and sing. She said she'd sing it all day. She's going to sing my off-tune song.
Oh,
Isn't
I love
that a gift?
See, I love that because
I
that's
love
all about
it.
what we talk about on the show. So many times we think, I can't.
It's
I'm
what you
not.
can.
You know, I won't. But you said she's going to sing my off-tune.
Off-tune, and she's famous and fabulous
Right.
and on tune.
Right. Oh, I love it.
I love it. I love you for loving it.
Oh, gosh. Okay. So you said You saw that thing about consultants. You realized that you can go beyond what your own thoughts about you were.
No, I did not realize it.
Okay.
I absolutely thought she was crazy.
Got
I
you.
thought she was crazy. That's what we have to do is go beyond what we think, release what we think,
Release it.
release it, and say, you know what, you do what you believe I can do. You have to just step back and not put a hold on what's possible. I didn't believe it, but what I was good at is not stopping it. And so often we stop the blessings. There are blessings there, and we stop them. I did not believe in the blessing, but I didn't stop it. And that's how, I became who I am. I didn't stop it. I didn't stop it. And I could have, because it was so beyond what I thought I could do and who I thought I was, and what life seemed to be saying is possible. But the gift was that I believe in a higher authority.
Right.
I don't know, I'm not a religious person, I'm a spiritual person, and I'm a believer.
Yes.
Because life has taught me to believe. And with that, just being open to the possibilities of life allowed me to bring the best. I am, in New York City schools, I've become like a legend. I'm not young, I don't think I'm old, but there are people who have known of me and heard of me because I was open, not because I'm the best necessarily. It's just that I bring a love, a joy, an energy that they needed. And I was there. They believed in what I brought, and I believed in what I brought. And it makes a difference.
Now, do you think that that was innate? As far as you said, they love what I brought, they believed in what I brought, and I believed in what I brought. So do you feel that that's how you were wired?
I am absolutely hardwired. My mother said in the womb, she said she felt this stuff happening in the womb that I was kicking to get out. When I did get out, she said I'd walk around and say, "Hi, I'm Linda Michelle." I do believe I view life in what you can get, what you are, and the possibilities of. I am hardwired that way.
Oh, so let me ask you this then. What about the introvert? What about the person who, one, may not have the parent that fosters that? What about the person that's insecure? What can we tell them? How can they learn to embrace what they're given? How can they work with what they got?
I love that question.
Where do we begin with that?
I love your question because I was at St. John's University. I'd been working on my own. I wound up working at St. John's. There was a secretary there, and she said, "How are you happy every day? How are you like that?" And I gave some, answer. She said, "No, I'm serious." And I realized that I didn't have the answer, but I think that part of the answer is being comfortable in loving the you that's there. You don't have to be me. I think I'm from another planet. I just am so open. I'm more than most people are. But you don't need to be me to find the possibilities. You need to just believe in the possibilities. And if you just are it in a quiet way that embraces the possibilities, just stop and say, you know what? I don't have to. All I have to do is believe. Just believe and let it happen.
You said something so important. You said, even though I didn't believe her, I didn't stop the blessing.
Exactly.
And if you think about it, and I know you have far more experience than I do, a lot of times the sabotage happens from within.
Let the church say amen.
We shoot our own feet.
No, without question.
Without question.
And
now, what are some of the ways, like just real quick, because we're going to have to go to a commercial.
Okay.
They're kind of showing us something, a commercial soon. But tell me, before we go to break, one of the ways that we stop the blessing and we don't even realize it.
Well, I stopped it in 1970, none of your business. When she told me I could be this consultant or whatever, I stopped it on one level because I said this isn't possible. But I didn't stop it such that it was stopped forever. It was this little, is she crazy? But I don't know how to answer that. I was still open to the possibility, even though I didn't believe in the possibility.
But what are some of the ways that you've seen others maybe where they stop the blessing? Where, along the way, because you've been an educator a long time.
You know what?
What are some of the things you've seen
Ayanna
students
Van
do?
Zandt used to say, don't stop 5 minutes before the blessing. And I think sometimes what we do is we don't allow ourselves to go 2 steps further. The blessing might be here, and we stop there. What I do is I open it up and I say, you know what? I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to believe that 2 steps away is possible. I'll give you a perfect example before the commercial. When I was going for my doctorate, I had to send in my dissertation. If it wasn't in then, it couldn't be considered.
Okay.
I went all over, it wasn't done, blah, 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 blah. I need to get printed. I went to this, it couldn't get done. Finally, I saw this. This is when Kinko's or whatever was rare. I saw this place. I run in. I said, look, I got to get this printed out. It has to be in by 9 o'clock. Wasn't done. I said, oh, good. Here's the disc. It was different from what we had now. But they said, here's the disc. He said, oh, I can't. I have to tell you, there is no, our printer doesn't work. We have someone coming in, and it'll be in, and what? I said, no, I need it now. They said, you don't understand. It's not working. I said, try it. I said, try it. And they said, well, I said, so they put it in to prove to me it wouldn't work. They put it in, 200 pages printed out.
Come on.
That's what I'm saying. And that proved, and then I gave them the other disc with the table of contents. That 1 page didn't print out, 200 pages had. I submitted that, they accepted it without the table of contents. But it was my belief that God had done, or the universe, I don't know, I don't care what you believe it is. Whatever it is, you have to believe.
We'll be right back after this.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this. You'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue Tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
Working with what you got, I love that. Primarily because who I am has been with working with what I've got. I think about when I speak to school systems and whether they're parents or teachers or students, and I talk about my life, and I come off as so, very centered and sense of myself, and I realize that even within that is this person who has insecurities, and I think people hear me through my insecurities. If I was Beyonce, they couldn't hear me. They need to see that person within who has doubts. And so I think about why I write. I think about why I write poetry and what it says. And I remember one day my mother is an extraordinary, glamorous woman. And I'm not going to talk a lot about that. We don't have a lot of time. And I always thought that her daughter wasn't bad, but she could never be my mother. I thank God for that, because had I been all of what she is, I wouldn't be trying to be all of who I am. One day she came in and we were together, and someone said, "Oh, that's your mother? She's so beautiful. How do you even go out with her?" I said, "Oh, wow." And I always write in a journal, and I tell young people and teachers and parents how I use the journal to get in touch with me and whatever. And later on, I saw where I'd written, from that day, "You're not as pretty as your mother. You don't have the personality of your dad. You're certainly not the smartest child your family ever had. ooh. But the next line was, but I'm holding my own. Is that a wonderful thing? I'm holding my own. So I wrote a poem that says, I'm holding my own. And it just started from, I said, you don't need to be all of that. I hear them talk and then I think of something I once heard said, and I override those critics with some things I plant inside my head. And that is, I'm holding my own. You don't have to be this. You don't have to be that. I'm holding my own. And I believe I'm being held. I can't even remember the poem. I don't have the words with me. But I can tell you that that was a momentous occasion for me, because when the world sees me, they see me as a person who's so secure and has all of this, but a poem helped me to be what people perceive of me. And that's a fabulous thing. I had one that said, you the man. I wrote one poem that's called You the Man. I said, I ain't no man. But when people say you're the man, they're saying, when they say it, you have the power. And I believe no one has the power over you but you. So I wrote a poem about that. I heard someone say, you the man. I said, psh. And I wrote the poem that talked about me being the man. And I said, I don't have to live large to know I'm charged. I know where I stand. I have a purpose and a plan. So I say, hey, I'm the man. And that's like the whole flow of what I do is talking about me being in charge of me, being the one who's in charge, I guess as a co-anchor with the highest authority. I don't have to live large to know I am charged. I know where I stand. I have a purpose and a plan. So I say, hey, I'm the man. That's a wonderful place to be. I love that place. Some of my poetry came from something very simplistic. Like sometimes, one time I was going through a school, and I saw students jumping double dutch. I said, wow, I love double dutch 200 years ago when I was out in my school. And I said, wow, they're still doing that, different beats. But I made this up. I kind of texted, said, we can double dutch, dance, turn, and jumps into a dance. Our steps are serious. We don't make them up by chance. Something jumping is a game. Jumping jump is more than that. I can't remember. Oh, wait. If I can't find it, it's in my book. This way I can let you know I have a book. It's called Jumping Double Dutch. Something jumping is a game. Jumping rope is more than that. Something. I put rhythm in what I do because life is filled with rhythms and love and life. I can't find it. I'm not even worried. When you talk about working with what you got, that's who I am. If I remember it, if I don't, I believe there's a higher authority that allows you to bring whatever it is you need when you need it. It's here. I could do one if the folks out there will help me. I'm gonna let you help me do. I love that poem. One that is really made me famous is one I wrote on my way to I was supposed to give a presentation for graduating fifth graders, and I said, you know what, they ain't gonna hear me. Let me just do something that will give the message with some life and love. So will you all say hey in between each line? Can the audience say that? Yes. Okay, thank you, because we ain't got a big audience. So after that, I'll do my double dutch poem. I'm really famous for this, but no one knows I wrote it. It has a message, so you'll know when to say hey. This is the way we start the day. We get the knowledge to go to college. We won't stop there. Go anywhere. We work and smile, 'cause that's our style. We love each other. Love one another. There's nothing to it. Just got to do it. This is the way we start the day, 'cause we don't play. Now what you say? Hey.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
The poems I thought I was supposed to do, I couldn't remember. But I believe you work with what you got.
Well, what you got is so much. You are never empty. You are never empty. I love it. I love it. I love it because I believe that God does give gifts. All good and perfect gifts comes from the Father above,
Amen.
and you are a gift.
And you
Thank
are
you.
too.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Before we go, we always love to share a little story, and I just want to share this little story. And it was something that Dr. Barron said. She said that sometimes the blessing is right there, and we stop before the blessing. And it made me think of something. It made me think about my children and how each of my children I nursed. And I remember the first one, labor was intensive, and I remember nursing, and that was intensive. And I was like, oh my gosh, nursing, labor, back pains, this is just way too much. This is like yucky. Then, like 6 years later, I had my first son, and I remember nursing. I was like, oh my gosh, this nursing thing is just horrendous. But I was so determined to nurse. I figured, hey, if God gave it, it had to work. Let me just put it into operation. And I remembered how hard it was for me when it came to nursing. It would become so hard over and over again because you go through the blistering, you go through the sore nipples. We can say nipples because it's a part of the body, like toe, nipples. We go through sore nipples, the cracking, all of that. And I would send my husband to the store for all these balms and salves, ointments, anything to help the crack. And I did that. And then I had my third son. And by the time my third child, which is my second son, by that time, I understood something. Every time I felt like I was going to give up when it came to nursing, it happened around the 4th week. By the 5th week, all of that pain stopped. So much so that I was able to nurse my children, most of them, until they were almost 2 years old. And what happens is the second week, the third week, the first week, the blistering, the bleeding, the cracking, the pain became so much that I couldn't remember that by the 5th week, the pain was going to stop. By the 5th week, I was going to be sailing. So I'm here to tell you that it's your 5th week coming up. Your 5th week is coming up. Hang in there. You may feel a little blistering, it may be cracking, it may be burning, and something may be holding on to you that you're trying to feed, and it's ripping you. But your 5th week is right around the corner. Hold on. You can work with what you got. Free your mind, and the rest will follow.
Amen.
Thank you so much for coming.
Amen.
See you next week.
Amen. I love that story. I love it.